Let's play with Mei-Li equipped with normal cards instead of the most powerful repeat cards in Tour 3 to satisfy a subscriber request named Atul Niphade. So I'm going to play matches that could be helpful as well for other subs and viewers, and not only for Atul on Gameplay 365 who want to see a not overpowered Mei-Li perform in Tour 3 matches. So this is a Mei-Li lineup based on cards that a lot of players can have if they haven't started to play last week, of course. So as I said, this video is made after that Atul Niphade, one of Gameplay 365 subs, asked me in a comment, "Could you please do one video on Mei-Li?" So his question happened before the 7th of May 2020 update. And remember that before this update, where all players could go in lower tours, including the Tour 3, with limitless total power. And if I went to play in lower tours, my Mei-Li, who is only at level 7, was going to be crushed very easily by those very powerful opponents. So that's why I replied to Atul Niphade at first that, "Hi, my Mei-Li is at level 7 only for now, so I can't play with her." I thought that I have already answered your question beforehand, because he already asked me that question actually. Plus, I don't like at all playing the counterpunch style, and Mei-Li is made for that. If I play with her, it will be in Tour 3 only, as she can't compete too low stats in higher tours. And then the subscriber Atul Niphade answered, "Well, I know my question is repetitive about Mei-Li. I'm asking you again because I really like this character, and I will appreciate a lot if you make one or two match video on Mei-Li for me. You can use her in T3, it's your choice. I wanted to see how she plays as a baseliner with types of equipments like Patriot plus Talon plus Shuriken or Hunter plus Jolly Roger plus increased hydration plus plyometrics." And still, even in 2 or 3, my level 7 Mei-Li could be very easily overpowered by opponents, especially because the subscriber Atul Niphade wanted me to play with equipment which is not my best. If I play with my best gears, that could have counterbalanced a bit for the weak 11 of Mei-Li, you know. But before all cards were buffed by the 7th of May 2020 update, remember that those cards, Patriot, Talon, Shuriken or Hunter, Jolly Roger, increased hydration, plyometrics cards, well, they were not giving me at all a good build to play with, even in 2 or 3. Where a lot of high stats players went to practice. But then came the 7th of May 2020 update, which changed a lot of things. And among others, it had introduced the Tour Cap. And seeing that update about the Tour Cap, you have a video on Gameplay 365 explaining in details about the principle of the Tour Cap, by the way. Seeing that update, Atul Niphade didn't forget his suggestion. He came back to me with another gentle reminder. "Hi Gameplay 365, as you are aware of Tennis Clash new patch, I think you can make video on Mei-Li now. She can comfortably play in 2 or 3 with level 7 stats." And yeah, he didn't forget at all. And he's right. From the 7th of May patch, all players' cards were capped at level 7. Whenever they enter the Tour 3. So my level 7 Mei-Li has at last a chance to be not overwhelmed by limitless powered, overpowered opponents when she enters this Tour 3. And so I have equipped Mei-Li with those cards. Patriot, Talon, Shuriken, Hunter, so I choose Hunter. Jolly Roger, increased hydration and plyometrics, as you have seen at the beginning of the video. And then I made some matches in the Tour 3. My Mei-Li is still at level 7 for now, so I won't play in Tour 4, where the card capping is at level 9. And if I had Mei-Li at level 9, well, her base values will have at least 10 more points split in agility, stamina, serve, volley, forehand and backhand. And that's why I really can't find on an even playing field with my level 7 Mei-Li in Tour 4. which is capped at level 9. Remember that. So as to satisfy our subscriber Atul Niphade. Sorry, Atul. So let's go back to the matches. So as you can see, the game speed seems to have been reduced a bit since the complaints of a lot of players after the release of the 7th of May update. That was in the 2.3, the game speed was faster than that. I remember when I tried. I was saying first when I played in the 2.7 after the patch was released that well, maybe that the game is faster only in 2.7, and then I came to test in 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 4, 5, etc. And well, it was the same speed almost. So well, they have listened to the complaints of players, and the publisher seems to have corrected it. It's less speedy right now. Okay, let's take a look again. As you can see, my forehand and backhand, well, the forehand and backhand of Mei-Li is often underpowered compared to my opponents, except for some Kaito. But on the contrary, those Kaito players have more agility and stamina. So that's not a real problem if you play an attacking style. You know, if you're not going to play with Mei-Li with a counterpunch mindset, then that's okay. Not having a very high agility or stamina is not a big problem. But you have to think the baseliner way. I mean, the aggressive baseliner way, and that's weird to play. To play an aggressive baseliner style with Mei-Li, by the way. But anyway, that's funny too. And well, our subscriber Atul Niphade wanted to see how Mei-Li will perform as a baseliner, an aggressive one. So, well, why not? I mean, of course you can use a character which is mainly designed for some style, for another style, but that would be weird. For instance, if I was using Victoria to play the counter punch style, that would be quite I wouldn't say that weird, because she's not adapted at all. But here actually, this Mei-Li, well, could be somehow used to play the baseliner playstyle. At least in lower tours. I'm not sure at all that you can use Mei-Li to play into 7 versus other aggressive baseliner players or counter punchers. To be honest, I have never seen a Mei-Li into 7 whenever I play there, say in Shanghai. I have only faced Victoria, Kaito, and very rarely Luke. And very rarely too, I have seen Leo, but really, very, very rarely. Most of the time, it's Kaito and Victoria, who are the two characters designed for the late game, actually, in Tennis Clash. Okay, so as you can see, in those matches, I mainly focus on hitting on the weak hand and the weak side of my opponents. That's a classic. Well, my cross-court fast drop shots don't work anymore, so at least with Mei-Li. I will try them a bit later. So this one is not purely a volley player. He has put points on forehand, backhand too, because as you know, pure volley player styles have gone extinct since the 7th of May update. Now you cannot base your player or your character only on agility, very high agility and very high volley attributes anymore. This new metadata is not working for them volley players, so they have to change a bit the lineup. And as you can see, with a low stamina, well, you don't have good reflexes anymore as a volley player. Take a look again. He still has a high agility, good volley, but still decent forehand and backhand. That was not the case with volley players, you know, specialized volley players. Who, yeah, let's use the anti-outsidence for test, and we will see that in capped conditions at level 7, that doesn't change anything for the forehand stamina. But okay, let's just use it for fun. Alright, so it's roughly the same total power. It's much more even now in lower tours. So when you have two characters who have two builds who have almost the same total power, is more the experience of the player who counts now. And by experience, it's I mean the accuracy and is it would not be correct to talk about strategy, because there isn't much strategy in the lower tours. But yeah, you can do volley now, even from the baseline. That's funny. But what I mean is that yeah, wow, I was so inaccurate there. With the same total power, a player having a bit more experience could win more easily, because, well, you know, the accuracy, it comes with experience and practice. Well, here my opponent wasn't inaccurate, too inaccurate. He was not serving very well, for sure. But that's one of the things that you acquired with experience too. You know, you gotta know when to try to not to force your second serve. You have to put that second serve with more security in the service box instead of trying to hit it hard. You have to, sometimes you have to remember that you have to return the ball into the court first, instead of trying to hit that as fast as possible, as hard as possible. Because, well, you could have a better chance winning that point if you put the ball back into the court than if you try to outflank absolutely at any cost the opponent. So it comes with experience. Of course, I'm not saying that you have to just put the ball back into the court and wait for the opponent to commit errors. That's not what I say. I say that sometimes you need to think a bit and, well, not try to hit fast shots at all costs. Sometimes. So now that the game speed has been reduced, well, we can have more time to think again. So that's cool, because during some days, just after the 7th of May, after the update was applied, well, all players were doing, and I had this weird feeling, is to swipe to return all balls as fast as possible, so that the opponent doesn't have any time to react and will commit errors, unforced errors. So fortunately, the publisher had corrected this speed, the game speed somehow. Otherwise, it would be total mess, and a lot of players would have uninstalled this game. Fortunately, they didn't put so much time to react. Okay, so the way this opponent was placing his character, his or her character, her Victoria, was not very good, because a lot of times she was late on the serve, and that shouldn't happen because her Victoria wasn't that slow. Alright, well, let's take a look at the build that I have been using for those 3 matches, and now in the 2 or 4 we will see that a level 7 Mei-Li should not go to the 2 or 4 and above, because the gap of base values between the level 7 and level 9 for Mei-Li character count is will be too high. Plus I was using the talent card, and it's only at level 8, not at level 9. So basically what I mean is that I'm going to 2 or 4 with a level 7 Mei-Li, and the talent card is not wise at all. There are more than 10 base points between a level 9 and a level 7 Mei-Li. The gap is quite significant. Okay, you can watch. So Mei-Li can be used as an all-rounders. She can play the counterpunch style as well, but a kind of weaker baseliner. She's a kind of enhanced hop character. Well, let's take a look at the order of the characters. Victoria, Kaito, Leo, etc. At least level 9. Hope, Jonah, and well, my Victoria being my best character so far at level 12. And Mei-Li is my weakest character. That's why I can use her for this test as a low-level character. Alright, so now, we are going to have a look at the values, the stats once capped at level 7 again with my build. Watch those stats, and then we are going to try to put on some better gears. So let's put the increased hydration back. Now let's replace those Patriot, Thailand's Hunter, Jolly Roger, etc. cards by better ones. For instance, the Patriot, I am going to replace it with the Hammer, and the Thailand will be replaced by the Forge, which has obviously better stats. So the Hunter, the Shuriken, hold on. Well, I will leave the Hunter for now. Let's see the Jolly Roger. Okay, no, I will just leave this Jolly Roger. And increase hydration, I will replace this card by the Cabo Load. Yep. The Cabo Load. Plyometrics, well, some backhand serve. Replace it by the resistance band, which gives a lower serve but a better backhand. Okay, so let's use the Shuriken finally. And now with that build, we're going to see that it gives better stats for forehand and backhand and serve, but lower agility and lower stamina. So if you play with that enhanced build, well, enhanced for the forehand serve and backhand, you will have to end rallies faster. Here is a comparison with the former build, the previous one. Okay, so I'm going to put this previous build back. Well, I hope you enjoy watching me play with Mei-Li equipped with normal cards instead of the most powerful epic cards to satisfy a subscriber request in the Tour 3. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 365 to stay tuned for new videos of Tennis Clash. Thank you a lot for your support and see you soon on Gameplay 365. Bye bye.